Hey everybody, welcome back to the workshop. I've got a fun and interesting new airplane to show you today. This is the Mambo from Old School Model Works, and this airplane is intended for pilots who have graduated from their basic trainer and are ready to step up to a plane with a little bit more speed and aerobatic ability. This airplane is also intended for modelers who have never built a balsa kit before. So let's dive in and check it out. One of the primary appeals of the Mambo is that it is designed around the power system and electronics found in the E-Flight Apprentice, which is a very widely used trainer. The general idea is that once a pilot has outgrown their apprentice, they can scavenge all of the electronics from it and keep it in use by dropping it into the Mambo. So the motor, the speed control, the battery, all of the servos, and even the receiver can be repurposed in this airframe. Of course, you do not have to scavenge an apprentice to outfit a Mambo. Just about any 4-channel radio system will work just fine. In terms of the power system, look for a brushless outrunner motor that's good for 250 to 400 watts. You can even power this airplane with a 15 to 30 size glow engine. As I mentioned, the Mambo is a balsa and plywood kit that must be assembled. Most of those parts are laser cut. The kit also includes a hardware package, rolled plans, printed instructions, and even a vacuum-formed canopy. Because this kit is designed with first-time builders in mind, I thought it was only fair to evaluate it through the eyes of a building rookie. That's why I passed the Unbuilt kit to my friend Mark Gustus. And while this was not his first balsa build, he is a relative newcomer to the hobby. And as you can see, he was able to turn that box of lumber into a very nice looking and very functional airplane. I asked Mark about the problems that he ran into during the build, and he replied with a short list of gripes. One of those involved hinging the tail surfaces. These parts are made by laminating 2 pieces of balsa together to get the correct thickness. Those parts are then slotted to use the CA type hinges that are included in the kit. The only problem is that those slots must be cut right where the laminations come together, so you're basically cutting through glue. Mark did try that and found that he didn't have much success. So he eventually changed all of the stock hinges for Robart hinge points. Another challenging area of the build was installing the canopy. As you can see, the front part of the canopy is attached to the removable wing, and the back half of the canopy is adhered to the fuselage. The canopy comes out of the box as one piece, so it has to be split to get this configuration, which sounds like a pretty easy thing to do. But Mark found that it required a significant amount of precise measuring, cutting, and gluing to make this all come together. Mark outfitted his Mambo with the radio gear and power system from a first-generation apprentice. The motor and speed control have remained essentially unchanged through the years. The servos have changed a little bit, but that's fine because all of the variants of servos will work okay in the Mambo. The receivers, however, have changed a little bit. Newer versions of the Apprentice include receivers that are outfitted with AS3X and safe stabilization. And if you're using one of those receivers, you'll want to take extra time to make sure those stabilization systems are commanding the control surfaces in the correct direction. Otherwise, your maiden flight of the Mambo will be very short and very messy. In stock form, the Apprentice power system uses a 3-cell 3200 mAh LiPo battery and produces around 250 watts of power. And just by transplanting that into the smaller airframe of the Mambo, you will see a significant boost in performance. It's worth noting, however, that there is headroom to get even more performance out of these components. Mark and I did some experimenting, and we found that just by swapping the stock 11.8 propeller for an APC 12.8 electric propeller, we were able to get 340 watts of power without overstressing any of the components. We also experimented with 4-cell batteries, and we found that with a 4-cell 3000 mAh battery and an 11.7 APC propeller, we were getting right at 400 watts of power and still running everything within spec. And that extra power is nice to have for better performance when you're flying the Mambo. I think the flight performance of the Mambo falls somewhere between that of a basic trainer and an all-out sport plane. When you want to just cruise around, the Mambo is gentle and easy to fly. And then when you're ready for more excitement, it is capable of aerobatics such as loops, rolls, snap rolls, spins, and even sustained inverted flight. The Mambo looks best in flight when you coordinate turns with rudder input. And new pilots who have not quite mastered that technique may want to set up an aileron rudder mix on their transmitter. In fact, experienced pilots may want to do the same. While the Mambo does offer a significant uptick in performance over a basic trainer, it does slow down quite nicely for landings, so I don't think that new pilots will have any particular trouble getting this airplane back on the ground. This concludes my review of the Mambo from Old School Model Works, and as usual, I'll close things out with a little bit more flight footage. So thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the written article in Model Aviation magazine.